controversy about the book was actually more interesting to me than the book itself. Welcome back to my channel for those of you who have seen one of my videos before. If you're new here, my name is Ashley and I post lots of book content as well as some occasional TV and movie content. I would love to have you as a subscriber. If you have already subscribed, thank you, you're awesome, I truly appreciate it. If you would consider subscribing and clicking that red button, it would mean the absolute world to me. This is going to be a review of The War of Two Queens. It will contain spoilers, so if you don't want to see those, then click off. If you do want to hear a spoiler-filled review, then keep on watching. I don't want to come on YouTube and create content that is really negative. That is not what I want to do. I want to be able to say there were things about this book that I liked. I never thought any of the From Blood and Ash series were particularly well written. I enjoyed them. I found them entertaining, and because of that, I have kept reading the series. And I know lots of people out there have been reading the series. I have enjoyed making videos about this series. However, I think I'm going to discontinue this series because I really had to force myself to keep reading The War of Two Queens. I found it very slow. I thought the world building was very lacking. I thought a lot of what went on in the book wasn't very well thought out. And that is aside from all the feelings I have about The Joining. I looked at books to kind of give me a break, and this book just felt like a slog. From what I gather, Jennifer L. Armentrout has pulled away from interacting with fans on Facebook because of the backlash she received over The Joining and over the relationship between Poppy and Kieran throughout the book that culminates in The Joining. I understand that a lot of people thought it was emotional cheating. And when I say emotional cheating, if you don't know what I'm talking about, a lot of people felt that Poppy was cheating on Cass while he was entrapped by the Blood Queen, and that the interactions between Kieran and Poppy were, for lack of a better word, an affair of some kind. If not physical, then an emotional one. A lot of people thought that if Poppy and Castile were truly heartmates, which I think is fairly equivalent to what we would think of as soulmates, that they would never invite a third into that relationship, even though in The Joining we have them inviting a third into their relationship, into at least the physical aspects of it. Now, I've heard a lot of people defend The Joining and say that they like messy relationships, they find that more interesting than just a happy couple who's together. I've heard people say they expected The Joining and they liked it, but the controversy about the book was actually more interesting to me than the book itself. The Joining is not spicy. The Joining is not very detailed. It's pretty fade to black in an author which doesn't usually fade to black. Usually you get a lot of details about what is happening between the sheets, if you know what I mean. And then we get this Joining, and it was neither done with a lot of detail and spice, so that I think dissatisfied people who were expecting The Joining, and then the people who didn't want The Joining were disappointed that it happened at all. So I don't think that the author has accomplished a book that made any fan truly happy. Now, I've read there's 5-star reviews out there. Perhaps a reader is wanting to defend the author because the author was being personally attacked. Maybe you enjoyed the book if you gave it a 5-star review. Honestly, I just feel like it was pretty slow. It was not a page turner. I am a fantasy reader, so I look for really good fantasy worlds and fantasy elements. I think if you ignore the fantasy part a little more, then maybe you could like the book a bit more. But overall, like I said, it was not paced well. I do agree with the reviews I've read where people say that they don't actually believe Poppy, Kieran, and Castile would have actually acted that way from what they knew about them in previous books. So I understand that Jennifer L. Armentrout said people were misinterpreting what she wrote and reading it wrong, and I feel like your work should speak for itself. I also feel that it is not appropriate to personally attack an author, especially in this context where he hasn't done anything, in my opinion, to deserve hate directed at her personally. You can say you hate her writing all you want, that's fine. But for people to attack her as a human being, I think that is a problem. I both feel that and feel that her book was bad. I feel that her book needed to actually have editing, but not just editing, like beta readers who read the book before it was published and questioned her about her characters. I mean, she's an indie author. She has been pushing these books out at remarkable speed. I would have a lot more respect for her writing if she had chosen to make this either a duology or a trilogy. I think that From Blood and Ash was widely popular, and because of that, and because even book 2, A Kingdom of Flesh and Fire, was pretty popular, she wanted to extend it to like a 5-6 book series, and I think that was a really poor decision. It should have ended sooner. When I think of this series, I'm going to try to focus on the earlier books because I did enjoy them a little more. Like I said, I don't think I'll be continuing this series. If you are continuing it, I hope you do continue to enjoy it, and I'm sure there'll be lots of other book videos about that series. But like I said, I just found this book. It just wasn't a pleasant read for me. I didn't enjoy it. It was slow. I did enjoy Shadow in the Ember. I'll consider whether I read book 2 in that prequel series. By the way, I have a video on that book. If you've not watched it, I'll link it up above for you. Yeah, I feel like this video, I've tried not to make it too negative, but I've also tried to express my true opinions. And normally I kind of lovingly snark on her books and I make jokes and that kind of thing. And I just feel like given all the controversy and the things that have happened to her, how she said she has to pull out of interacting with her fans on Facebook because of her mental health, how, you know, some people really want to see the reviews go down. I just felt like this video had to have a more somber tone. And I hope that you also feel, if you read the book, that given the controversy, this somber tone was appropriate. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of The War of Two Queens? What do you think about all the controversy that's happened? And will you be continuing with the From Blood and Ash series? If you could subscribe to my channel for more book content, I would truly appreciate it. In the meantime, this is Ashley saying goodbye. Happy reading and have a great day. Bye!